hopefully these last few segments have put it out there that there is a portion of, and it's actually the biggest lion's share of the Act 60 is there for everybody.
Right, and I think the press and the government, they're duty bound to let the locals really know this.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Do our third segment with Arturo here, and we saved the big one, the big boogeyman, Act 22. This is the one causes Act 60 all of the pain, I believe. And we're going to talk about what it is, why Act 22 exists a little bit, and maybe a solution for anyone who feels left out in Puerto Rico at the end, so through opportunity zones. How we can help the locals to not feel like they're not able to be involved.
Act 22, which of course now is part of consolidated into Act 60, was passed in 2012, or at least it was conceived and initially passed in 2012. We had a Republican administration, and back then it was the purpose, and I think it's still the same purpose, was to attract foreign capital investment, specifically through individuals who moved to Puerto Rico and live here, as their primary residence, and move the economy and invest and create jobs and buy really expensive cars and whatnot, right? Move the economy, right? By the way, this law has suffered many amendments to what it is today, and there's still a bill to amend that even more. What has been going, to make it very simple, was that it was very lax in terms of the requirements. Pretty much anyone could move here. There was no requirement for you to have a house, create jobs. It was very the donation requirement, which it now was increased to 10,000, but it was originally 5,000. Originally, it wasn't even a donation requirement. But then we started getting a lot of not so rich. I mean, when I mean not so rich, maybe with a net worth of less than $500,000, right? I don't think that's necessarily the crowd that we want. I mean, nothing wrong. We welcome everyone, but specifically for that tax incentive, it didn't seem that they were the right fit, because there's so much that you can, right, with limited resources. There's so much that you can do, mathematically speaking, right, to move to make a difference.
It's a difficult situation, and certainly there are some bad actors who come, like you said, and they're literally counting the days that they're here. You can tell their heart's not in it, right?
Right.
Like if you're going to take advantage of any of these things and you're going to move to Puerto Rico, then make the jump. Move to Puerto Rico. You shouldn't have to count your days. It's cheating a little bit. It feels dishonest, right? And I think that's where the locals get upset with that.
It's very hard to gauge the efficiency or efficacy of these requirements, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's very important for people to know that that these people are coming in are really moving the economy and creating jobs, right?
Yeah.
Not kind of cheating their way out. I'm really colorblind, no matter how much money you have, or generally try to treat everyone the same, and that includes in business. I mean, just because you're one of my richest clients or friends, I'm gonna treat you differently. Like, oh no, well, since you're so rich, then you pay for lunch, or let me charge you a gringo rate, how they call it here.
The gringo tax.
That's also wrong, in my opinion, right? I mean, it's a free market.
When I came to the island, there were people that looked at me like I was a pork chop when I came into their office, right? Like they're just, oh, the grande gringo is here. My rate just went up 200%. And this is real.
Right.
This is real.
It is
one of the
real.
reasons why I can say that I wholeheartedly endorse and recommend you and your services is that I have dealt with you and haven't felt that, right? There are other attorneys on the island that I've dealt with, and it's the same, and I recommend them as well. I just want to put it out there again.
Yeah.
I think you're a great attorney, but I also think you're a very fair person, and that you care for your clients, and that's how we've become friends too.
Right,
So,
right.
and we're getting off on a tangent a little bit, but I think it's important for people to know that, and that is
Oh,
one
definitely.
of the intents of the video is that I want to let people know that when you're asking me who do you come to for any of these ACT things, that I'm going to recommend Arturo. So.
Thank you, Robbie. It's just important that people come with the rank mentality, and the same holds true for locals. I mean, you got to be really open-minded about it in the sense that understand what people like Robbie are bringing into the table. It's a matter of when you're coming to Puerto Rico, you should keep that in mind. You should try to find like-minded locals and treat them with the same dignity and respect as you would with your accountant, your attorney.
Puerto Rico offers these things in different ways, and the local population as well as people coming from the outside are attracted to Puerto Rico because of this stuff. And the intent of offering up these benefits is that we'll get better employment, we'll find businesses that come and drive up wages, we'll find that that people will move here and stimulate the economy and rebuild. And that is what the intent is, right? So when thinking about all of these acts and coming to Puerto Rico's the gift that keeps giving. It's beautiful. I love the island. I love that there are these benefits to being in business here, and I hope that people continue to come and take advantage of this.
Robbie, I also wanted to mention that although Act 22 is not, or formally Act 22, let's call it the individual investor decree, it's not available for those Puerto Ricans that have been in there like me, that have been their whole life in the island. There's nonetheless other methods for people like us, other than the exporting services, right, to limit the tax impact on capital gains. So the Opportunity Zone, the OZ Fund, is a great mechanism where a local can invest into a Opportunity Zone qualified fund and can take advantage of those capital gains, those profits through that fund. That local that invests in that can get significant tax benefits from even a tax credit from the get-go based on the initial investment, and then as time goes by, there's gradual benefits on capital gains. We can get into that at some other point, but it's very important for locals to understand this, and if we can do that, if we can make Puerto Rico better and bigger, so that's why it's important.
So hopefully these last few segments have put it out there that there is a portion of, and it's actually the biggest lion's share of the Act 60 is there for everybody.
Right, and I think the press and the government, they're duty bound to let the locals really know this, because it would create a lot less friction, and a lot of the locals would avail themselves from this and hopefully grow their businesses into the mainland and above and beyond. And
if you have enjoyed this content and like to leave a comment in the section below, tell us what maybe we could dive deeper into. We'd be happy to get back together. At least I'd be happy. I hope Arturo would come back and sit down with us. All right, so I think that's gonna wrap it up for us, man. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, smash the subscribe button.
Smash the subscribe.